Okay, fun fact, you guys. This is a bit of an update video on all of our 2020 season breedings here. It's all ball pythons this year, but I haven't done a whole lot of egg collecting or gathering egg videos so far because most of these girls have been laying like first thing in the morning right before I've gone back to work now that businesses and things have started to reopen this time of the year now. But this girl, interesting, this is Callie. She's our really kind of wonky pastel, which I don't know if you guys can kind of tell. Her pastel's a little different. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, but her pattern's really interesting. And her color is a little bit different than you see on a lot of pastels. And she's just as normal pastel. Her parents were Brandy, which we have, and then a Bumblebee that we used to have as well. So she's just a regular old pastel, but her coloration's really fun and her pattern's really fun and she has a great temperament. So we decided to continue on with her line of pastel just to see what will pop up. We paired her with our super awesome crazy breeder who evidently will just lock with anybody, Jersey over there. He is a pastel lesser yellow belly, and he is bred with a couple other people this year. Looking at this tub, we also had her lock with, we also had her put with North. We never saw any locks with North. North, of course, is our very high white calico male. And you are being so good. She's really putting up with this. Thank you, Callie. Definitely, she's a slow-grown female. But the weird thing about her is we saw locks on her, just the two. We normally like to do 3 just to make sure. But we only saw 2 locks on her with Jersey. I never saw an ovulation. I never saw a swell. It was really weird. We weren't sure what was going on. And I guess last week, Becca saw her flipped up over on her back. That's kind of a classic sign of ovulation. It's just them kind of being a little uncomfortable because they're so full of eggs. And she said that she was flipped up on her back, although our kind of wonky little male over there, which we purchased as a female, also does the same thing. If you guys follow me on social media, we thought he was a male too. He was purchased as a male, locked with Jersey, but when we put another kind of larger, more dominant male, I guess you could say, with him, they actually combated, popped plugs, popped his hemipenes out. So definitely a boy, so we weren't really sure what was going on with her. But then yesterday, when I was going through checking on everybody, we had a couple other clutches be born, making sure that one of the girls was really tensing up. She had a couple slug eggs that she passed, so I was just making sure she was still okay. We noticed this kind of spinal ridging going on. So hopefully you guys can kind of tell. Normally they're a big round sausage, kind of like this boy here. They're kind of round. Their spine isn't really sticking up super well. But, sorry. You can see that even on her, now that she's past her eggs, her spine's definitely kind of poking out a little bit more, just a little bit more visibly, and that's a really big indicator that they are, in fact, not only gravid, but going to be laying soon. So this is honestly a bit of a surprise for me. I did pair her up. We did have locks, but I never saw an ovulation. I was thinking that she just wasn't going to go this season, but guess so. So let's see how many eggs that we have from her. I'm by myself today, so I'm just going to put this down, and we'll just cut right back to it. Okay, so as we can see, we have a nice little clutch from her. She's a first-time mommy, but these eggs are pretty big. We've had a lot of really big, kind of smaller clutches this year from her females. It's really weird. A lot of first-time moms. 6 good eggs here with the 1 boob egg, which this is probably going to become tegu food. I know that sounds kind of really weird to say to you guys, or that you guys think, or that it's kind of just a weird thing, but it's kind of a waste not, whatnot. It's infertile, so this is a follicle that started to develop. It didn't get fertilized, but developed to this point. So it's not a good egg. It's not fertilized, but it did develop a bit of this kind of soft snake egg shell. But nothing in there, so the only thing we could do with it is throw it away. But it's still an egg, still full of nice nutrients and things like that, just not a viable embryo. So this will probably become tegu food for either Orion or the big blue tegu. So we'll just set that aside over here on top of my feeding schedule, as you guys can see. But nice big 6 eggs, looks really good. Great first time mommy. Normal ball python clutches are between 6 and 9 eggs. We've had about the usual between about 6-7 eggs has been the thing. The first clutch is out of the incubator.
that was our really fun, weird clutch. It was a super orange. It was an Orange Dream Chicago, and then we put 2 males to her. DC. Nope, not DC. Sorry, Glacier. I'm just kind of glancing up here. Sorry, I'm messing up all these. Glacier, who is a GHI Mojave, and Carlsbad, who is our really nice Orange Dream male. He's not the high-intensity Orange Dream. He's just a regular Orange Dream, but he's managed to carry those oranges and look kind of interesting even further on here in real life. Here, let's actually just go look at Carlsbad really quick. He is going to the vet at the moment right now. That's why he's on paper, unlike the rest of the ball pythons. But as you can see, he is a good fit. Yeah, little urate there in the corner. So as he's a good 1,500 grams, so a good sized breeding male, and you can see he still has a lot of that orange blushing up on the sides. So that's why we went, we'll breed him. We'll see what we get. And then if we look back over here to Chicago, there's Chicago. You can see there's the mommy. She's still kind of curled up, but she has eaten 1 meal since she has laid. You can see she doesn't have nearly as much orange on her side. So that's why we're really happy to get Chicago. And she's a grumpy little girl, so. Carlsbad's huffy, Chicago is grumpy, and Glacier is also grumpy, so these babies are probably going to be pretty pissy. But 5 eggs, all came out really well. They were huge. Like, these eggs seem really big. Sorry I didn't really document it very well, but these eggs are pretty big size for, let's see, Callie was 1,550 grams when we first paired her up. Normally, these are pretty good sized eggs for a female like that. Chicago was just under. She was right at 1,400, and she had 5 eggs, and they were like a third bigger than these. It was crazy. But we got an Orange Dream, 2 normals, a GHI, and what we're fairly confident is a super Orange Dream, and I'll post pictures of them later down the road. I might throw it up in this video. Just, I'm trying to keep it pretty quick for you guys. Just an update on the 2020 breeding season. Callie caught me off guard. I was not expecting that at all. So that was really cool. So because I didn't catch it this morning, the eggs are stuck together. I like to separate them out. They don't have to be separated, but just in case they start to develop mold, it makes it easier to kind of control that. And you can even have eggs go full term from moldy eggs. We see it all the time. We had one out of our GHI to GHI pairing that did mold up entirely, that wasn't viable, but we have another one with our Enchi to we don't know what he's going to be because it's another one, Enchi to Calico or Enchi to Pastel Lesser Yellow Belly pairing that did mold a little bit. Put some Lotrigen or like kind of antifungal powder is a quick little kind of easy little quick fix way of preventing mold growth or at least hampering it. And that one seems to still be doing just fine. So, another little clutch update for you guys. I will throw a full list of pairings that we've had. Some really cool ones that I'm super excited for that finally went. A couple more that I'm still hoping for down the road. But for this particular one, 6 really good eggs. We possibly could get super pastel, lesser yellow bellies, or any combination thereof between the really, really cool, funky pastel California Cali and then Jersey, our incredibly potent male breeder, the pastel yellow belly lesser male. Super awesome, guys. Hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more updates.